Week 6, improving our individual workflow. And let's get into it. Thank you for being here. There's our agenda. Stop. Let's start with the intention. You're watching this right now, and all of our work starts in our Schoology folders. So there we go. Workflow start. Let me say it again. Workflow starts by dividing up bigger projects into smaller tasks, then setting an intention and a timer so that we can stay focused for that period of time that we're working on that specific task. This is crucial. I will say this over and over again. It is that important that you practice staying focused and setting very specific intentions. Work on one task at a time. Reason being is that time is the most powerful tool we have. And the best thing we can do with that time is to focus one thing at a time, go step by step through the multiple things we have to do each day. Time management needs to be practiced. The better you get at this, the more productive you can be, the more creative you can be, and I think the calmer, less stressed out you'll be. Let's review. Take attendance every day. Yay. Okay, go here. I don't have any updates for our Zoom stuff. Last week, we talked about our advisory committee and the fact that we're working on skills in a continuum to create what we want to create. And our advisory committee are in the outskirts of our world, ready to help us out. We also learned about continuous improvement. Our system of how we create things is going to be improved over and over again. We learned that from Dr. Deming and Dr. Langford. And these were the concepts we were exposed to. We are embodying those in this class, and I will embody those by improving the class every week using this process. This week, I've improved a number of things based on your input, so I want to lead by example with that. Speaking of improvements, Dotstorming decisions. Last week, we decided that the agenda with the black background was better. Yay. Gathering data in the moment very quickly so we can make a decision and move forward. That was just an example of how we're going to do that this year. Schoology updates. I have more resources in here. So when you look at the top of each one of our Schoology pages, or our class, you're going to see that we have the EduBlogs link, our Zoom link, updating, let's drag over here, updating your projects, the tracking sheet, we're going to look at that, contributing to the class structure. If you want to help make the class better, this has been established to help us with that process. And the rest of the resources you can see here. Class improvement board, yes. So when you click this link, I love that image. You see this, and it's an idea that you can add to these components. These are the structural components of our course for the next, for the foreseeable future. So I'll explain more about that later. Comments are in the gradebook. Grades are up to date. Check the comments for grades, especially if you're missing something or if it's not full score. What I like about Schoology's gradebook is it does have a place for me to put some extensive comments and potentially even links to resources. Check that out. And email me if you have past work that you've completed and you would like me to check it. Send me an email and I'd be happy to check it. I'd like to tell students, tell me what to do. Mr. Leduc, can you check this blog post? Yes, and I will do that. And I will email you back with a confirmation that I have done that. And I will tell you what your score is. If it's not full score, I will also share with you what you need to do to complete the project. This is what I see when things aren't published. And so we want to fix that. Check the resources section of our Schoology page and look up here. Click on this link and you will see this tutorial. We were exposed to this the first week of class. It's really good. Watch this. This will show you more about how your blog functions. Remember, your blog is educational. It is blocked from most search engines, so it's very safe, and it allows you to use WordPress, which is the most popular publishing platform on the internet. And as our advisory committee says over and over again, you need a portfolio. That's why we're doing this. You need to be able to demonstrate your knowledge. It's show, don't tell in the real world. Okay, let's take a look. I'm trying to clarify what we work on, so I'm simplifying our Schoology folder. YouTube channel updates. I've made another tutorial about microphones. Slideshow update, none. Skills USA, We have a folder now with our leadership component of our class, and we have meetings on Wednesdays at noon, usually every other Wednesday, and you'll be able to check the calendar in Schoology for those events. I have a testimonial from 2 of our wonderful filmmakers that graduated this year, talking about the course or the club. So take a look at that. I have other resources in there. Celebrations, we got blog posts. Evan, nice job. Evan did a great job. Many other students did as well. But I just wanted to call out the different elements that Evan put in his blog post, and very detailed. Yes. This week, goals. Those people that still need to test in precision exams, Wednesday morning will be a time for that. I've emailed you, and it's from 9, 9:30, or 10 o'clock. There are different time frames I have for you to take the exam. It is a pretest. It does not count in the gradebook. It does for participation. So it's a yes, no in the gradebook, 1 or 0 for participation. But we need this data to plan out the rest of the year. Today and this week is divided into 2 parts. Class development, or process, the how. And this is part of our activities in our folder. And what I want you to do is take what you did last week with your blog post. You put content in for each one of these sections. What I'd like you to do is take some of your ideas and put them into these pages. This is in Dotstorming, and it is a group page where we can see each other's ideas so we can get smarter. We are smarter than me. One point that is a yes, that you've participated and added some content into those pages. 1 idea per page will be great. Core content, the what, is with this. So here we are in the class so far. Level 1, process. Learn the process of the Leducian class structure, projects, and all the stuff that we're doing. So week 1 through 5, we did these projects. So if you've completed these, move on. If you have not, this week, I want you to work on these blog posts. The survey we did in week 1. A few people have not done that. Personality card, we did that in week 1 as well. And precision exam, again, those people were sent an email this weekend with the information about taking the exam on Wednesday morning. And once you're done, go to level 2. In level 2, we're learning about tools and training for those tools in our various classes. That's what level 2 brings us. Okay. The tracker sheet is this is a new tool I developed for this week to help us keep track of what is accomplished in a class. So on the far left side, you have your first name, and it's just yes or no, did you get this stuff done? This is to help you track the different things we're doing in class. So level 1 is done. We're now moving into level 2. What I'm asking you to do this week is, depending on the class, there are specific tools we're going to be using. For the film class, it's an editor. For game design, it's a game engine. And in School of Rock, we'll talk about that. We have various tools. Soundtrap is our main one, but also instruments. And we'll talk about which instrument you're going to use in School of Rock. So fill this in. Open Schoology now. Check the gradebook. Email Mr. Leduc if you're missing work, what your plan is to make that work up. So email me that today. Now. Open your EduBlogs account now. And normally in our Zoom meetings, I wanted to check the students to make sure they could get into EduBlogs, or email me if you're still having issues with that. Again, the tutorial I shared with you earlier in this slideshow will be very helpful for showing you the ins and outs of EduBlogs. And now, let's get acquainted. I want to make sure that you know the basics of your blog. That was what that slide was. But here's our agenda for the week. And just as a review, you already saw this. And you'll see the last thing is to go for a walk and use your imagination. And that is a summarization of week 6.